All right, YouTube, how you doing? We are back, and we're in the garage, as you can tell from the not-so-great lighting in here. If you recall, back when I was coming from the Icebreaker a few weekends ago, actually 2 Sundays ago now at this point, I had mentioned that maybe I had lifted the head. I only did 3 runs, and 2 of them were good. The middle one was not so good. I didn't really know what the heck was going on. Turns out, I figured out what was going on as soon as I got the fan shroud off. I lucked out. So this is going to be logistically a little weird, but we're going to get the light on here, and I'm going to shine it down here. And then what I'm going to do is flip you over, all right? So, whoop, don't get sick. Now, if you guys could see right there, see that guy right there? That is an entrance wound from something that, well, I'll tell you, my guess, so let me get that out of your face. All right, so don't tell anybody. But at one point when I was changing doing the plugs and I was doing the coil packs, I lost a bolt and it never hit the ground. And if you ever look closely on my car, you'll notice, see that one bolt right there? It's not like the others. Okay, so don't tell anybody. I think I found it. And you know how I think I found it? Because if you go over here and take a look right here at the fan blade, look at that guy. And right up here. So, hard to see, but it doesn't look like maybe here it caught it a little bit too, and it caught this guy right here. It looks like it skimmed a couple of the blades and then kind of beat this guy up a little bit. Not what I would say is bad enough to damage this fan permanently, so I'm just going to run it. I'm not even going to try to change it. This, though, see that box sitting right there? Right there. That guy is a new radiator from Rock Auto. I got it for like, I think $140. It was the last one in stock of that particular kind. And it has the clips and everything on it. So, yeah, I lucked out. It's not a lifted head. Am I going to do studs and all that stuff right now? No, because I'm an idiot. One, also, two, because I don't have that kind of money to do that. And this car felt perfectly fine coming off the trailer. Well, actually coming, the runs were awesome. Driving back and forth, no problem. So driving on and off the trailer, also no problem after the radiator blew. So also too, and then I apologize for the mess, but what is this right here? Ooh, what are they? These guys? Well, they're not M&H Race Masters, that's for sure. What I like to refer to them as drivetrain breakers. So they are Mickey Thompson ET Street R's, much more sticky, 305 45/17, 28-inch tall. Gonna have to roll, so I still have roll the fenders. I still have the stuff somewhere around here. They're actually probably sitting over there, or I got them over there. So I have the fender rollers and the heat gun, so we'll do that. But first things first, let's get this radiator out. Let's get it replaced. Let's get this car running again. All right, guys? Pretty straightforward at this point. I have all the, basically all the hoses pulled off of the top of the rad. This guy goes to here. Got that out of the way. I've got these supports for the top of the radiator off. You can see they're taken off. Just got them here. A lot of bolts. I was hoping to avoid taking off the, I'll call it belly pan, but it's a shroud for lack of a better term, just because it's a pain in the ass. It's not a pain, but it's more stuff to have to do. So I did take that off. All that's left now, you have the bolts on the top here to get the condenser off and to get the fan shroud. I'm sorry, not the fan shroud, what am I saying? To get the condenser and the oil cooler off. So those bolts were taken off. It's just 3 bolts across the bottom. And I don't know how well you could see them there, but there's, I'll show it to you once I get them off. And then there's these little clips down at the bottom. So basically all I have left now is the transmission lines here and you'll lose probably about a half a quart. I have a 1.5 quart overfill, so once I get it all done, I'm gonna have to jack the car up, fire it up on the like up in the air, just so I can get underneath it, let it drain out, and then refill with a 1.5 quart overfill. So that's just that save the transmission when you're launching hard. It doesn't expose the pickup. So let me get the trans lines off. We'll get this radiator out. We'll pop the new one back in, start hooking everything back up. Stay tuned. All right, so here's the new radiator, and it's pretty nice. They actually give you new clips for the transmission cooler. I got to transfer over the water neck for the bottom there. It comes across very, it's just the same style. It's got a clip in there that snaps in here. It's got the trans holder, the trans lines holders, and it's got the clips and everything. The only thing it's got is the clip-on nuts that I gotta put on, and it's these guys. I'm drawing a blank as to what the heck they're called, but these guys right now are the only things I notice have to get transferred over. But it's pretty straightforward, and of course the neck has got to go over, but it'll be pretty straightforward. And then we'll, I'll move them across, slap them in, and before I go, I cleaned up the fan blade a little bit. You can see on this guy here, it got pretty hammered, but I ended up sanding it in a little. And I'm just looking, this isn't a split or anything like that. It's just, and I can't seem to get a good focus, but I sanded this down. I sanded it down up here a bit just to clean it up, keep it from further splintering, but it shouldn't induce any vibration. So we'll get it all back together. Slap her, I guess, really at this point, it's all just putting it back together. So we're essentially done. I just got to transfer over and get down to business. So away we go. Okay, guys, so, we're already have the radiator swap back out. So I pulled the original one out, and I'll give you a little bit better detail on it, but you can see new one's in. Trans lines are hooked back up. Started dripping a little bit. I did lose a little bit of fluid, and I lost a little bit out of here. You can see that this pretty well beaten up, have the impact wound. I transferred everything over. It's really stupidly straightforward. 3 bolts on the bottom, 4 bolts on the top, and you can see them right here. This gets the condenser and the oil cooler in the front. So it's very, I'm sorry, trans cooler in the front. So it's very straightforward. And you can see the lines there running into the radiator. So they go into the radiator and then they go into a secondary cooler up front. Snap them in really well. Yeah, I did lose some coolant, some trans fluid. I'm going to fire it up. You can definitely drive it the way it is right now. You would not romp on it, but what I'm going to end up doing, it's really late. Right now you can tell, if you haven't noticed, between the previous frame and this one, I am now in different clothes because it's a different day. I can't usually get everything done in a single day just because, family life. But, yeah, there's really very little bit left to do. I'm going to finish buttoning it up. I'll start filling it up with coolant. I may or may not fire it up. It is really late and it is loud, this car. So I think what we're going to end up doing is kind of just getting everything buttoned up, get all the hoses hooked back up and whatnot. And then I'm going to leave the belly pan off. Sorry for burping there. I'm sipping a frothy beverage. But I'll get everything buttoned up, get it ready to go. I'll do like an initial fill on the radiator, but I won't fire it up until tomorrow. So, yeah, let's get everything buttoned together and keep plugging along, guys. Thanks. All right, folks. So we are pretty much done with getting her back together. I finished the last minute hardware. I didn't do the underneath just because I didn't do the belly pan, mainly because this thing's gonna probably puke a couple times once I fire it up. But it's all back together. I have it a little bit over full, to be honest with you. But I'm going to want this thing to puke a little bit, get all the air out of the system. So I'm going to open up the garage door. I just wanted to show you, I use this Prestone. It's, Dex Cool 50/50. It's easy enough. Just grab a few jugs of this and throw it right in. I had quite a few laying around. Unfortunately, I just needed basically a half of one to get it to where it is now. So what I'm going to do is grab the keys. We'll get inside, we'll fire her up, and yeah, we'll start the bleeding procedure. Fingers crossed. doing, just idling it here, watching the temperature get up. And when I got my end gauge here, you can go in here, you can see, you know, it's just kind of, you know, sitting here, seeping up, and you can smell like stuff's burning off, but the temperature's slowly going up. So far, no perceived air pockets or anything like that we can see. We'll see if the fans go on, but not pouring any water. Sounds good. So we're just gonna let her idle here. You can smell it, like definitely got a lot of water. Like you can really, it stinks. Like, and you can smell it, definitely some burning. So you can see we're up to 181 right now. We're charging fine. I never actually programmed the end gauge to read boost. I do have to do that. But 189. So we'll just sit here and we'll wait. I'm not going to open it up for it to puke. I'm hoping it'll puke into this bucket, but I may have overfilled it. So we'll see what happens. It may have to puke out a little bit, but we'll just keep watching. Okay. All right. And I do have the heat on in here too, because it was let's see, 203. $205. All right. So I may have to take a look. I'm not gonna let it spike. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to shut it down. Let's shut it down. 208, 210. Fans haven't kicked on yet. I may not have enough water in it. All right. So we're gonna shut her down, because I don't know if that's I just don't have enough water in it or what. Now, what that's hopefully telling me, okay, so what that tells me, I think, and I don't want to get blasted in the face here, is that I don't have enough coolant in here. So it opened up. Yeah, see, look it. That's not taking my face off right now. So that's telling me that my coolant went way down. Yep. Okay, so that tells me that I need to still put some more coolant in it. So it wants more coolant, so we're gonna give her more coolant and let it, you know, we'll give it more coolant, let it come down, let it puke a little bit. I'm gonna let it run a little without the cap on it so I can get all them bubbles out, all right? I think we're gravy. Lucky enough to not really have any big bubbles in the box, I mean in the block. So let's get our button back up. I do have to fill up the transmission, probably another quarter of a like a half a quart, something like that. But I'll have to do that whole procedure for another day. But we're in business, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for more racing content. Take care.